So I'm in the small blind with queen of diamonds, jack of spades.
In the small
There
blind, okay.
are, in the small blind,
Mm-hmm.
there are 5 limpers to me. I complete for the extra dollar. And now the big blind makes it 25 to go.
Okay.
We get 4 callers. And just due to odds, I decide to go ahead and complete
And how,
closing the action.
right. So how deep are you guys, by the way?
I have just over 800, and the big blind is about 1,200, 1,300, and all other players are less than 400.
So you're about 800 here effective with the big blind,
About
right?
800.
Okay.
Correct.
So this is kind of similar to like if you're closing the action here with queen jack and the big blind, because you are closing the action, right? The big blind's the one that's raised.
Right.
And it's not uncommon.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not like you're going to get squeezed. So, I mean, people are like, oh, queen jack off's a fold. Well, are you going to fold queen jack off when somebody opens and then 5 people call and you're getting like 8-1? I'm not going to fold queen jack. I mean, you're going to be out of position. The theory would say that, oh, you're supposed to defend tighter when other people call. But obviously you can see it's live poker in a 400 max game where there's 4 or 5 people that have limped in, right, in front of you. So I've got no problem with the preflop. So it looks like it's 150. Is that right? 6 ways to the flop?
4, 5, 6, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the pot's 150. Okay. All right. Let's go to the flop.
Flop is queen of hearts, jack of clubs, 10 of diamonds.
Queen of hearts, jack of clubs, 10 of diamonds. So you flop top 2.
Correct.
But it's an interesting board, though, right? We just said that. I was just
Yeah.
leading into that. I teased that. Queen, jack, 10. Okay. So you're first to act.
I go ahead and check.
Okay.
And the big blind leads for $60.
So a little under half the size of the pot. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So big blind leads for 60. Okay.
And actually, all the limpers fold
Uh-huh.
back to me.
Okay.
I hesitate thinking of raising, but at this point, I just wanted to see where I was in the hand, so I just make the call.
Well, I just give a little bit of a chuckle because usually when people say they want to find out where they're at in the hand, they raise to find out where they're at in the hand. And of course, we don't really want to do that. But I understand what I think what you're trying to say is that, maybe you're going to see how the big blind might react to a certain turn card here, right? You're not going to go nuts, right? Because obviously you know that he could have ace king. And really, if he's going to be raising out of the big blind with, say, 10s plus, like he should, he can have set of 10s. There's one combo of queens and jacks. He can also have a hand like kings, which has a lot of equity actually against you. So this is kind of interesting. Like I said, the newer school sort of no limit thought, if you start looking at some of the computer modeling, even though we know that, playing by a computer is not going to win the most amount of money in live poker, but you can certainly learn things. And I think one of the things I've learned is that the computers will sort of favor actually waiting until you increase your equity to actually put more money into the pot. Queen jack against kings, I bet you kings is probably a slight favorite. I mean, really the only hand that you're, maybe like doing 60-40 against here that might put a lot of money in here is aces. Aces still, of course, you could get counterfeit, and aces would have a gut shot here to a king. So, I mean, I like your check call here. I think it's fine. I got to give a shout out here to somebody, an old CLP legend in the live chat. G-Man is in the live chat. And also, too, I forgot that I need to add to our CLP Discord that another new legend to CLP, Onions, is going to be calling in next hand. So I'm going to push that over into low content. Okay, let's go to the turn.
Okay, turn is 2 of diamonds.
Okay.
I check.
2 of diamonds. Okay. Turn 2 of diamonds. Yep.
And the big blind now leads for 150.
So hero checks. Big blind bets 150. And that's into a pot of 270, right?
270. Just a little under half pot again.
I mean, I still think this is going to basically just be a call. It's going to be a call here again. A backdoor diamonds come out here. You said you have the queen of diamonds in your hand. So I just
Yep.
don't see really, I mean, this is really going to be one of these situations where if you get a blank on the river, probably the play is going to be check evaluate, at the end. So big blind bet's 150 and you make the call. So now the pot is 570, right?
570.
Okay. All right, let's go to the river.
River comes 6 of diamonds.
6 of diamonds is the river. Okay, so it brings in the backdoor diamond draw. That's right, because there's 3 backdoor diamond, right? Queen of hearts, jack of clubs, 10 of diamonds, deuce of diamonds, and now the river is the 6 of diamonds. Now, I would assume, the way that you have played this hand, that you are going to check. Is that right?
Correct.
Yep.
Absolutely. So okay. I check, and the villain in the hand shoves all in.
So how much is the all in for?
I had 525 left.
Okay, so 525. So it's about a pot size bet left, right?
It's pot size. Correct.
Checks and big blind all in for 525. 525, right? Okay. So obviously, the 6 of diamonds is not the absolute best card for you in the deck. I would rather see sort of a blank here than the 6 of diamonds. But really, and part of the reason why I think this is kind of an interesting one is that, the theory goes that you're supposed to have some somewhat strong, sort of hands to check call the river with. Like you're supposed to arrive on the river and check call with some hands that are better than one pair, like a 2 pair type of hand. Right. Usually what we'll see is you maybe have a draw and then you run into 2 pair, like bottom 2 pair, and you check on the river and then you hope that someone's going to effectively value bet or bluff at it. Here, though, you sort of have played kind of respect for the board in this given scenario and sort of just check called the whole way, with 2 pair. I can't, you're not supposed to, in theory, fold this hand. Now, if this is a 400 no limit game, at Ocean, and people just don't run like a triple barrel here into 5 people and then continue to like bet the river here at the end, you could make a case possibly for an exploitable fold, but that would be a very, very large deviation and you would really have to know your player. And I'm sort of like kind of leaning towards the side nowadays where I think people might actually deviate a little bit too much. And I've definitely been one for saying, hey, live poker is niche and stuff like that. I've made folds like this before. But if you have absolutely no information on like your villain and you don't know the player pool, I think you just have to default call. This can't be a default fold. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I have no information on him. He's a newer player. He played one hand about 1 orbit before that, and he bet 2 streets, got a fold on the turn, and took down the pot, never showed down.
So someone in the live chat here, TD77, who's a regular in the live chat, says that feels like villain could be overplaying aces. This is where I'm going to disagree with that. I really don't think that villain is taking aces or kings here for a bet across all 3 streets like
I was
this.
thinking kings.
I just see so many people check back here, man. I mean, would kings, especially with a diamond, like aces with the ace of diamonds or kings with the king of diamonds, should it be a bet on the river? Sure, it should be a bet. Is it bet at this level? Once the pot gets, the guy's going to move all in here, right? Without a flush, with 1 pair on the river, with kings, with, as 1 pair for an all-in bet. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I would say that that's on the rarer side. Like if you were to take your typical, say, 10 players in this pool, maybe like 1 does it, if that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't see diamonds out there. I couldn't understand what he would have diamond-wise unless he had ace king of diamonds, which he already flopped the nuts.
Right. I mean, he could have, because you have the queen of diamonds in your hand. I mean, I guess you could go really far out there and say he could have like ace jack of diamonds.
But would he lead all 3 streets with middle pair?
Sure, I think
that. Yeah, so the only thing I could think of would be king or ace king.
I mean,
which I beat king.
The crux of this really is the fact that this guy has bet basically, into the 5 people on the flop. And I will agree with somebody here too. T. Krupta says that if he doesn't have aces and kings, it's probably a fold. So, we just talked through it. you know, if, like I said, the theory of it is that if aces or kings are supposed to be taken for a stack here with a diamond, you can see why sometimes putting queen jack into a check call makes sense. But if they never have it here, perhaps we could find a fold. What did you end up doing?
I ended up contemplating for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I folded face up.
Okay.
I showed him the queen jack, and then he kind of glanced over at me. I heard him say, wow, and mucked his hand.
So did you ever find out what he had?
I never found out.
Never found out. Okay. But do you feel good about the fold?
It's been for the past couple weeks. I kind of think I should have called. I really do. I just think that it was just too strong of a hand to fold there.
I mean, yeah.
Because I'm only putting him on ace king, which is 16 combos.
Yeah, but that's a lot of combos, though, right? I mean, it's not just it's 16 combos. I mean, that's I mean, it's not just that, but it's like, what are the hands that are taken here for this line too? It's not just basically purely counting all the combos. It's, you know, what hand is taken for this line with the combos in them. Maybe all 16 ace kings are taken here with this line, but if you say, oh, he could have aces or kings, well, those are only 6 combos each, right? So it's 12 combos, but I'm going to tell you, there's no way that all 12 combos of aces and kings are taken for this whole line. But very well, all 16 combos might be taken for this line of ace king.
Especially with the ace of diamond blocker.
Well, I mean, I think it's probably pretty close. And I might find a fold here too. Given I think at the higher stakes, maybe you call. But, you know, people are structuring correctly, but it's kind of hard to put yourself in that position because you're just never really at the higher stakes going to see like 4 or 5 limps and then somebody raise out of the big blind and then, you know, bet into 5 people. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. But I appreciate the call. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for the help, Bart. Appreciate it very much.
If you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call-in hand, hit the like button down below. To check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA300 to get the first 30 days for free.